the heck is going on here, Brandy? I cannot believe that I've just found out that you're the one that's been going out with my husband behind my back. You really did a great job hiding that important bit of information from me. Why are you talking about me like that out of nowhere? Do you really think that one of your good old friends would be stupid enough to go out with your husband? Especially when I've been a great friend to you, actually. So could you please stop acting like I'd ever do something as ridiculous as that? Could you stop trying to hide what you've been doing from me? I finally had enough of my husband always dodging me and asked for someone to follow him and find out more from me about what he's been up to. And guess what? That guy I asked to follow him around noticed that you've been the one that Frank's been cheating on me with. Huh? You asked someone to stalk him? You actually went ahead and did something crazy like that? Well, you were the one that suggested I do something like that, right? You said to my face that if I really wanted to learn about what my husband's been up to have some pro follow him around and find out for me. And that's why I paid $500 to have a guy go out and get me the information I needed. Man, I can't believe that. I thought because of how much of a pussy you are, you'd never have the nerve to do that to him. Well, I've been proven wrong today. If that pro you got to stalk him found that much evidence, then there really is no use in playing dumb anymore, is there? Well, you're right. I've been the one going out with your husband behind your back. You are the worst, Brandy. How could you do this to me after all those times I came to you about how I thought he was cheating on me? You even told me to find a pro to go out and follow him. Tell me, Brandy. What were you feeling when I came to get advice from you on what I should do about Frank? I bet while you put on a face to show how much you were worried about me, you were laughing your butt off inside. That's right. I had to hold back so much laughter to make sure I didn't spill the truth. And man, did I do a great job. I was able to fool you long enough to get you to actually go out and hire someone to get evidence for you. And now, because of that, you've finally come to realize it's been me all along, and you've wasted so much time and money. Remember how much I had tried to get evidence of Frank cheating on me? But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get anywhere. But you were there telling me to not give up. Why did you have to be the one going out with my husband this whole dang time? Because you're a disgusting piece of crap, Miriam. And that's why I went ahead and stole your husband from you. Wait. I'm the piece of crap? You and I are like two peas in a pod, yet you thought it was okay to get married before me? I was not going to just sit around letting you get away with that. Ever since you got married, my parents have been on me saying that I need to get married soon as well, and it's been so annoying. And then, right before they end their little pep talks with me, they tell me to take some inspiration from you in finding a husband. And to be honest, I have been wanting to get married for a long time now, but I haven't been able to find the right man. And I don't want some loser to become my husband. I have to have the perfect man, and I've been waiting forever for him to come. What? What the heck, Brandy? That makes no sense to me. Why would that be your reason for taking my husband from me? Shut up, Miriam. It's your fault for thinking that you could live a happy life being married to Frank before me. Frank is such a great employee and makes enough to allow you to be happy every single day. Huh? Well, I've been wanting a man with decent money myself. Yet while I've been waiting to come across that man, you brought your money-making man around, showing him off to me. Why did you get to end up marrying the perfect man for me? You really think I'd allow you to do that to me? That's why you're a disgusting piece of crap and why I stole him from you. So that's your reason for stealing your longtime good friend's husband? Are you actually this happy to watch me suffer like this? I'm sorry, but that happiness won't last long for you if that's what you sought by doing this. Huh? I'm sorry, but I'm going to be happy with what I've done to you for a very long time. But to be honest with you, now that you know I've been the one going out with him behind your back, the thrill of it has ended. However, now he and I are going to get married soon, so you hurry up and divorce him for me. Excuse me? So you really are just going to straight up steal him from me? Did you really think I'd go through all the work of getting him to fall for me just to let you have him back after finding out about what he was doing? I really do want to steal him from you, and there's nothing you can do to stop me now. Maybe if you'd been a bit closer with your husband, he would have never fallen for me. But you chose to never hang out with him enough and show him the love he deserves, and that's why he's mine now. You have proof, after all, that he and I are deeply in love, so you shouldn't even have to question anything anymore. I'm going to marry Frank, so step aside. I guess you're right. I do have a boatload of photos now showing you going out with my husband and the two of you being so close. And he's smiling with you way more than anything I've ever seen from him. Frank is actually a really loving man. When he first started to fall for me, he immediately told me that he wanted to get married. And to get me to agree with him, he's bought me all sorts of gifts. And he's even told me that the moment we get married, we're moving into a penthouse downtown. Huh? He has promised me all of that and so much more. He's even told me that he wants to make sure that I live a totally free life. And that's why he's going to let me be his housewife in that new penthouse. Also, he's promised that by the time we've moved into that place, he'll be a CEO and we'll have all kinds of money at our disposal. Is that so? Well, good for you. Why are you acting all okay about this now? You shouldn't be telling me that this will be good for me. You should be crying and begging me to give Frank back to you. You just lost the love of your life to your best friend, and you're going to try and hide behind a strong mask? Give me a break, Miriam. You just lost a wealthy man to your longtime friend. I'm not trying to fake being strong about this right now. I'm just telling you how I feel about the situation. After all, you have always been the one with a better sense of style than me. So I feel that you'll be a much better wife to him when he becomes a CEO than I will. Oh, stop that. I can't believe you understand this so well. Of course, I will look a lot better in the arms of a wealthy man like Frank. That's right. You'll look perfect next to him. And that's why I've already come to terms with you stealing him from me and kind of think of it as a great thing for everyone involved. And to be frank, me being with him is way too abnormal and shouldn't have even happened in the first place. Right? Compared to a level-headed woman like you being with him, a sexy-looking young gal like me is a much better match. Now I'm looking forward to hearing about your guys' divorce. You really helped me out a lot by bringing a good-looking and wealthy man like Frank to me. Just a second ago, I got the divorce papers for us. And I've already filled it out and signed my name on it, so please make sure to sign it when you get home. Then I'll be able to hand it in right away, and you and Brandy can continue your guys' dream of getting married.
What? What do you know about how I've been hanging around Brandy this whole time?
For a long time now, I've been aware of you going out with another woman and never telling me anything about it. So I got some advice from a friend and went and hired a pro to follow you around and gather some evidence. And the evidence I got from that pro was shocking, to say the least. But that's why I'm willing to divorce you now, Frank.
You hired a pro?
This should all be amazing news for you, right? From what she was telling me, she made it look as though you wanted to get married to her as soon as possible. So having the only thing stopping you from that say she's going to disappear should make you happy, right?
Well, you have a good point. I am a bit surprised, though, that you figured all of that out so quickly. But the fact that you're even willing to leave me now without fighting back is perfect.
I will ask you this one thing, though. Why did you end up cheating on me? And furthermore, why did you cheat on me with one of my best friends?
You already know the answer to all of that. It's because her and I were meant to be together, and there's nothing that can get in the way of our happiness together.
Huh? Can you say that to me one more time?
The person that I should be married to isn't you. The person that's fated to be my wife is Brandy. So, you can't really call what's been going on between the two of us cheating. I've just been going out with my destined wife, and that's totally okay.
So that's how much you're in love with that girl. Have you told her yet that the company you're slated to run is starting to collapse? Well, I guess it all makes sense now that you have all that time on your hands to be going out with another woman. You haven't even been bothering to save the company, instead thinking that it'll just save itself while you go out with your destined lover.
Well, I'll have you know that ever since I started going out with Brandy, my company has gotten back up.
What?
This year, there have been a lot of rival companies doing a lot better than this one, and it was expected that this company would fall. However, we began to sell a lot of assets to make up for whatever losses there have been. But as we were thinking that selling assets wouldn't even bring in enough money to make up for the losses, I ran into Brandy. We both decided to go out to dinner together, even though I was exhausted. And what do you know? The day after that first date, my company received a new contract.
Really? You think that it's because of her your company's on the way back to the top after being in such a terribly low position?
This isn't just some coincidence, you know. Every time since then that we've gone on dates with one another, my company's image has gone up and there have been more profits. There is still a little ways to go before the company really begins to rake in the money, but I know for a fact that we've avoided going bankrupt. To me, Brandy is no different than a miracle to me, and I will not let go of her.
So this is your reason for throwing me away and going after her? Even though this whole time I've been the one standing by your side supporting you? Even when I've been with you while the company has been going under, cheering you on?
I don't need you around anymore. It's as simple as that. The only woman I need now is Brandy, and no one else. I'm still shocked myself that she's given me so much more than you, and we're not even married yet. That's the power of being with the woman you're destined to be with. I can tell right now that the moment we marry, things will only become even better for me, and I'll be the happiest man in the world.
You may be right about that. After all, you both look as though you'd go perfectly together after getting married. All I am now to the both of you is a wall in the way of your bright future together.
Oh? What's happened to you all of a sudden? You're acting like you're totally fine with the fact that I'm leaving you now.
Well, you said it yourself, right? The moment you and her started going out with one another, your company was able to make an amazing comeback, right? And since that's been able to go on for a bit now, there's no way it's just a coincidence. Also, you are so invested in marrying her that there's nothing left for me to do to change your mind. Really, I'm starting to think that she really is meant for you too. So I have nothing left to do now besides letting her have you.
Well, it's really helping me out a lot that you've already come to understand this. To tell you the truth, she isn't even the first woman that I've messed around with while being married to you. So, just to be a kind man, I'll pay you whatever you ask for me to make up for the pain I've caused.
Thank you, Frank. That money will really help me out a lot. Now, I'd really like to get that divorce paperwork handed in, so get to it and sign what needs to be signed. I'll be wishing for the both of you to have a happy and healthy marriage to one another after this. I just happened to get married to Frank yesterday. We both went to the city office yesterday and filed our marriage papers. Congratulations, Brandy. You are finally with the man you were destined for. So, can we finally agree that I've come out on top of everyone? The next thing I get to look forward to is moving into that penthouse with Frank soon. To tell you the truth, right after we handed in our papers yesterday and became married, we went right to the penthouse and walked through it. And we decided that the place was perfect for us and immediately agreed that we'd like to rent it. What? You've already found yourselves a penthouse you plan to move into? It's around $10,000 a month to rent the place and was just remodeled with all the newest appliances. But because of that high price, it'll take a few days for the realtor to check over Frank's income to make sure he can afford the place. But he is Frank, after all, so there's no doubt we're getting that penthouse. So today we're going to head to some of the finest furniture stores in the state to start buying only the best luxury furniture and electronics. And Frank's even told me that I can pick anything I want, no questions asked. It must be so exciting to be you right now. I think right now you're the most excited woman on this planet. Of course I am! I was able to find myself the perfect man to make my husband, and we just got married. He is such a gentleman, and he's the new CEO of that company, so there was no hesitation. Being able to marry the perfect man has made me really think that I can get away with pretty much anything now. I'm so happy that I'll buy literally everything in those furniture stores today. Thank you so much, Miriam. You were very kind in allowing me to have your husband without there being any kind of retaliation. No, thank you, Brandy. You were able to get that CEO of a collapsing company out of my sight. Huh? I didn't even think that it'd be possible for you two to get married to one another this quickly. I am bursting with joy now. And to see you so happy with such a useless man warms my heart right up. Wait a second. Stop calling Frank a useless man. And what are you talking about? His company is not close to collapsing, right? He told me that his company is doing amazing right now and is expected to bring in loads this year. Well, that's what was expected before. But today, that contract that he was expecting to renew has been ended. And since he now has no customers willing to work with his company this quarter, he'll be right back on the path to bankruptcy. And unlike all the other times, I won't be there to help him and his company out of it. I don't see him having any other way of getting that company back on its feet now, so he's on a one-way trip to losing everything. Huh? And because of all that, don't expect to be able to afford that penthouse. After all, those landlords and realtors are very, very strict about who is allowed to rent them or not. And I think them seeing that Frank is on the road to losing his company and his money, they won't allow you guys to live there. What the hell are you going on about? Why the hell would Frank's company be on the brink of going bankrupt now? There's no way. What contract is he going to lose, and why would that make him lose his chance at renting the penthouse for us? I bet you're just upset with me now because I'm way more happy than you are and are trying to sabotage my emotions. Well then, why not give Frank a text or call about it? But I'm sure he's running around right now like a chicken with his head cut off, so you might be better off just texting him. Heck, I'd say your best chance now is to just head over to his company and see the condition it's in yourself.
What the hell is going on here, Miriam? Recently, that contract I've been planning on renewing has fallen out, and the customer is planning on looking to other companies now. If I'm not able to find anyone else to start working with me, I really will be on a one-way trip to going bankrupt. If you have any idea as to why this could be happening to me, please tell me.
What? Why are you contacting me about all of that? All I am to you now is your ex-wife, right?
I've already heard about everything from Brandy. She told me that you happen to know about that contract being ended, and seems to think you know the reason why. Why would my ex-wife know anything about my company and its contracts? Wait, could this mean that after the divorce, you've been holding something against me? And this is all you're doing?
I haven't done anything, Frank. All I ended up doing was telling my parents and family about how you left me for my friend. But funny enough, that company that you had the contract with was actually run by my family.
What?
And let me just say that I never asked any of my family to end that contract with your company. But when telling them all about how we got a divorce and the reason behind it, they all seemed to become pretty upset. And that might be why they chose to stop working with you and your company.
I don't think any of that is a maybe anymore. I'm 100% sure that that's what's happening here. There's no other reason for this to be happening now. This is all unbelievable, though. How could the company that I've been working with for a little while now be run by your family? I've never heard anything about that from you or anyone.
You have a great point. But the reason you never heard anything about that is because you were too busy cheating on me with Brandy at the time the contract was made.
What?
You don't even want to know the amount of times I went to my parents asking them to please make a contract with your company. But I really wanted to help my then husband get the company back on its feet before taking on the role as CEO. And that's why I went through all that hard work. But you never noticed me putting in all that work because you were too busy going out with a good friend of mine.
Huh? You went and did all that for me?
I thought it'd be right as your wife to try and help you with your job. But at the time, I had no idea about all of that business-related stuff. So that's why I did what I could with what I had to make sure that your company could make a comeback. Going to my own family begging for them to make a contract with your company. And after so much work, they finally decided to give your company a really decent contract. But that whole time, you had no idea of it and thought it all had to do with Brandy. Well, it must hurt your pride now, knowing that your company having a chance to get back on its feet was all due to my family and I.
So you're saying that the really generous contract the company had gotten was all due to you? This had nothing to do with Brandy?
That's absolutely right. It was all just a coincidence. While you were out being unfaithful, I was working my butt off to save your skin. And when my work was all said and done, you were given that contract and thanked Brandy for it, saying that she was like some kind of miracle for you. Even saying to me that she was your destined wife and would help you both make bank.
But that's...
When I had to listen to you go on and on about all of that, it really gave me a frickin' headache. You didn't care for any of the work I put in and continued on about how she was your good luck charm. After all that, the love that I'd worked so hard to make with you fell apart and withered away.
You're lying, right? How could this all have happened due to you, and not due to the fact that I'm finally with my destined wife? So, what am I going to do now knowing that Brandy isn't really what's been giving me so much good luck? I finally thought that the company was golden, and now it's going right back down the drain. And now, I'm not even going to have the help of your family with me.
How about you go ask your good luck charm of a wife for help? If she really is the woman you're destined to be with, then you'll make it out of all this just fine. You really have everything, so there will be some way your company makes it out of all this.
But what if this time a miracle doesn't happen?
Well, then that just means your wife isn't all you thought she was. Now, your ex-wife has to get going. You're supposed to be having the best time of your life right now, so please go back to being happy for everyone. What am I going to do, Miriam? Frank's company really is coming to an end like you said. He told me that now the company faces bankruptcy. He's not going to have any more money. Oh my. It's only been 1 week and things aren't going as the two of you had planned? What happened to him being the perfect man for you and having all that money? Right now, there's nothing about him that's perfect. He's not even going to be able to get that penthouse for us now. And as for all that luxury furniture and electronics that I bought, we have to go and return it all. All because he couldn't take care of his company. Why, when I was just about to become the happiest woman in the world, did this have to happen to me? Sucks to suck, Brandy. You actually thought that stealing one of your best friend's husbands would end up going well for you? Stop trying to talk to me like that right now. What I want to know is why you never told your best friend about how her man's company was on the brink of going bankrupt. If only I'd known that his company was in bad condition before marrying him, then I could have had the chance to leave him before we tied the knot. You are a freaking jerk for hiding a truth like that from your friend. Why would you do something so hurtful to me of all people? You know the reason for that, right? You were the one that started all of this by stealing Frank from me. Huh? If I had told you about all of this, you would have never fallen for the trap of marrying him, right? But I didn't want to ruin your guys' love that quickly. I wanted you both to really get inches away from your happiness before I told you all the truth. And would you look at that? I timed it all out perfectly, and now both the crappy friend of mine and my useless ex can suffer for what they've done. So there you go. My reason for hiding the truth from you. So that's why you were totally fine with the two of us getting married and even encouraged it. I should have known something was up by how fast you recovered from that blow. I was being honest, though, about you both getting married. You really are meant for each other based off how horrible of people you are. A brainless husband and his brainless wife makes for a perfect match. This is so messed up. Wanting both your ex and best friend to end up in shambles? And now you're calling us both stupid? I bet that you've been laughing about all of this behind our backs. You apologize to me right now for doing something like this to me. Wait, why should I do that? Weren't you the one that started all of this by going out with my husband behind my back? And you told me that you put on a face when talking to me because you were really laughing about how sad I was, right? Well, that was... So what you should be saying is that we both got to get in a good laugh from all this. And none of this is okay, though. Especially since you ended up getting a ton of money from Frank in the divorce while I'm going to end up with nothing. And I have to thank you for being there to save his company when you did. Because of that, he was able to make just enough money to pay me the amount I asked for before I left. Well, I want to divorce him and get his money as well now. Yet right now he has no money to his name. It's not fair that you're the only one making out of this with money. Stop being so selfish, Brandy. You at least got to marry the perfect man that you'd been searching so long for, right? If you're really wanting money as well now, go ahead and help him save his company then. Go around and find a company that you'll be willing to get on your hands and knees for to beg for them to make a contract with him. You wanted to become the wife of a CEO, so you have to start putting in the work to help keep him there. After that, Brandy tried to get Frank to divorce her, but he turned around and told her that she could not run away and that she needed to help him save his company. And so she ended up having to stick by his side, helping him find ways to get his company from going bankrupt and help themselves from losing everything. But of course, they weren't going to be able to do much about how bad of a situation the company was already in. And as I'd mentioned before, it was on a one-way trip out of here. As of right now, those two had to move into a really cheap apartment together and are living every day of their lives using large amounts of borrowed money. As for me, due to the money I received from Frank in the divorce and the settlement thereafter, I've been doing pretty well on my own. For the time being, I think I'm going to take things slow and work towards making myself an even better person, before going back out into the romance world looking for a new partner.